What's going on, everybody? July 4th weekend is here. Wow, by the time we get this show, we should be going to the 4th of July weekend. It is what's up? Back to the classics, the cinematic movie podcast that takes you back to the iconic films of 20 years ago on all the platforms. You got Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Dave, help me out.
iHeartRadio,
our big dog. Wherever you get your podcasts up, and don't forget to get the Beat Network Amazon app available right now. I'm your guy, Jan Alonso. With me, of course, is
Danger Neff, Dave Danger Neff. This is going to be a really quick episode. Part of the reason why is because the movie that we watched hasn't aged well. I'm going to already answer
a little more than that. A little more than that. It's the same thing we just did last year when we covered 2000. It's the exact same thing.
If you feel like you're going back through the pandemic, this is post-pandemic of the same movie. Don't worry.
Yeah. So we're doing a little different today, but we'll still cover it and give it its just due. But let's talk, bro. What's the deal, man? How are you, bro?
Solid. Back at work. Got Los in with my job, so get some consistency out of that. And yeah, pretty much that. What about you, bro?
I'm good, man. I was without my boo over the weekend. She had a girls trip in Sedona, and I was like, I'm just by myself. I was like, I don't have my girl with me, so I just, hey, I miss her. But she's back though, so I'm good. Also,
Jay, blink twice if you need help.
No, but we ended up hung out with the bros over the weekend, and I had some family in town, so hung out with them, and it was pretty cool. I had a pretty solid weekend, man. I did catch Fast 9, which we'll get to momentarily. But I also watched, correction, I was beginning to watch a movie. I've never heard this movie. It's called Ice Road with Liam Neeson and Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, I think it just dropped.
I think it just came, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? So I got like a good 20 minutes on. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this anymore. I'm pretty much done watching this. Oh my god, like it's already better when they have to deal with it. Like, yeah, this issue, and this issue is like, but it's all dealing with around on Ice Road and no. But me and Nika will be going to Dave Chappelle on Friday. I cannot wait. Got a whole date night planned. Yeah, it's going down.
Very cool, very cool. As you guys can tell, I'm not wearing my Golden Knights hat. We did lose to the Canadians, unfortunately, so our season is over. Shout out to Marc-Andre Fleury for winning the Vezina. That was announced today for top goalkeeper. So congrats to him.
Today's movie. Like we said, we're going to go about this a little different this time because, we're doing the same thing again.
Movie. Okay, and what I mean by that is it's just sometimes small scenes put together to try to make it feel like it's an actual movie, and it's not. But what's the movie that we're talking about, Jay? We're
taking it back to 2001 with Scary Movie 2. Original release date, June 22nd of 2001. Shares opening weekend with, and this is crazy, this is probably the most interesting thing about the movie, is the opening weekend it shares. Pootie Tang, Cats and Dogs, Crazy Beautiful, and AI artificial intelligence. Production budget $45 million with a box office total of $141.2 million. 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. Do I dare say, is that fair?
I think that may actually be a little bit too high, but sure, yeah, we'll say that's fair. Here, okay, real quick on the production of this. All right. The first Scary Movie drops, and it's a major success.
It's an immediate hit.
Mainly because they had real jokes and real funny scenes in it. The studio fucked over the Wayans brothers. The Wayans brothers literally said, we did not have enough time to shoot the movie that we wanted to do. But they were like, okay, well, we have this amount of time, so let's go ahead and do this. We want to go ahead and get it in. And No, it's kind of bullshit. Like the Wayans brothers could not produce a good movie, and so a lot of people, when they consider like the scary movies, they talk about 2, but they also talk about 3. I don't think 3 is better than 1 and 2. 3 is really saved by Leslie Nielsen a lot in that movie, and there is some funny scenes with Charlie Sheen, but it doesn't have the same impact. 2 was hyped, but at the same time, like by the time the movie dropped, like there was no air about it because it felt rushed. Everything about this movie felt rushed, and you see it all over the place. Real quick, special shout out to Anna Faris because this was only her second movie that she ever did. When she did Scary Movie 1, and I know that we did not talk about this, that was her first ever acting role ever, and she starred in it. And to be honest, she killed it.
It made her a star. It made her a star. Because after Scary Movie 2 came what? The hot chick. She took off from there for sure.
Yeah. And she still definitely gets roles. Like, yeah, she's been in more spoof movies than anything. But to be honest, like she's definitely gotten her roles. You know, she's done Lost in Translation. She was in Brokeback Mountain. She was in fucking Just Friends. Just Friends. She's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
There's a scene in Just Friends. Every time I watch it, I immediately start laughing because of how stupid it is. But that's kind of how she is.
So how we're doing this review today is instead of us kind of just going through the movie how we would normally do for a review, we're gonna point out our favorite gags. The story here is pretty simple, like most scary movies are. It's a ripoff of we're ripping off what? The Haunting, Hollow Man.
This is almost strictly a ripoff of The Haunting.
Right. And some Exorcist vibes in there.
Right, and there's Exorcist stuff. There's The Haunting.
Said The Last Dance. It rips off.
That's one scene that actually got me.
I get a legit laugh out of that scene. And now the Exorcist cut was hilarious because I remember being in the theaters, and and that's they're over there and they're dancing. It's called Hell House. I love that the car said Hell House at the end in the beginning. Cut to them being all jolly inside dancing and singing and shit. And then they're going all of a sudden, do you know this one? Do. I'm like, that shit was just so funny to me, bro. Like for some reason it was just, you could tell like that's what makes the movie dated. Because Mystical Shake Your Ass was a totally 2000 record. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And it was still mighty popular at that time.
The problem I had was that they used a hard R there instead of, A. I was like, come on. Like you guys,
there is a hard R there. I'm just like,
and the problem.
I like Andy Richter a lot. He's hilarious.
Yeah, Andy Richter just had a very successful career as Conan's sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
So it just I don't know. It kind of off put me. All right,
shake your ass. Watch yourself. It was great. In comes Natasha Lyonne with the "You Suck," and a gallon's worth of piss comes out. That's hilarious to me as well.
All right, the opening gag. I'll kick this off with the opening gag. Early on in the movie, we get the introduction of James Woods, as this is his only bit in the movie, as he plays the Exorcist priest in this case, and he comes in, and if you remember the Exorcist, she's chained up to the bed, and kind of spewing profanities and whatnot, and he immediately walks in and she does the rotating head thing, right? Going all around, right? And he immediately goes, fuck this. It starts taking off.
That particular part makes me laugh every time.
Fuck this.
Fuck this.
It's so.
I was in hell, yeah.
It's so genuine. And you come to find out it was totally ad-libbed. It wasn't even scripted. So James Woods.
Did you notice when he does the fuck this part? If you listen real faintly, you hear the footsteps going back down the hallway.
Right. Yeah.
Hilarious.
That's probably the only gag from that opening scene that I like, because it's basically the whole point is that there's a ghost, obviously, and they're trying to exorcise this ghost, and it doesn't work, obviously. Go on. What about you?
So when we get to that part where same gag, small stuff like she's doing the whole tongue thing, and he's all like,
shit, yeah.
Right. And then fuck man, and he's humping her. She's doing this shit. For some reason, that cracks me up every time. It's the funniest shit to me. After that, the gag just falls flat.
Yeah, no.
The next gag, which would be the Cindy and Shorty dinner out of college, as if didn't Shorty just died in the last one, but whatever.
Right. A little bit about the continuity of this thing. Like,
yeah.
There is no continuity. I mean, I guess if you really want to say, technically, you could say, well, there might have been a way for all of them to survive. We saw Brenda straight up die. Like,
we saw Brenda get murdered, and she's very much alive.
Very much.
But we get a gag of Save the Last Dance, and what Shorty teaches Cindy how to dance, right? This part's hilarious to me as well because they're doing it's so corny when they're doing it, right? Like, and then when she throws it all together, they get the right, left, right. She's beating up a bitch outside. Like, oh, son, that jacket is tight, son. Now run that shit, bitch. Nah, me.
Nah, me.
Nah, me.
She just straight up takes off her jacket and hands it to her. And then, like, afterwards, they're like, hey, you got to be careful with that kind of language. Like, we just
you got her ass beaten and robbed tonight. Like, she was... Love it, man. I will say this about this movie, man. The movie, can you never tell the budget increase from one last year to the one with this one? Tim Curry's in it. David Cross is in it now. You know, like, these are still comedy giants to me. So even Tim Curry coming back is crazy.
A quick thing on Tim Curry. Tim Curry brings a sense of acting into this movie that makes the movie a lot better. When he's kind of exited out of this movie, which is really unfortunate, like the quality immediately kind of starts to, it almost immediately starts to die. Which is why he's almost my That Guy award. But
I'm saying that he's my That Guy award because look, at the end of the day, he's my That Guy award / my That Fool award, which you may share with someone else, and I'll tell you one bit. But
so when they get into the actual mansion, you get the introduction to Chris Elliott's character. Chris Elliott plays Hanson, and Hanson has this little hand that is super. The prosthetic on this thing is creepy because it's like not all
only the index finger moves. By the way, it's like
only the index finger moves. Not all the fingers are the same size, so you kind of have like a normal size thumb and then a little index finger, you know, and then it's like clawed in, you know, like that, and it's horrendously. It looks horrendously wet. It always looks like it's. So they decide to have like this dinner, right? And everybody's introduced, you know, they're introduced to the experiment. They have this dinner. And when he begins to serve the food and he goes and he grabs the mashed potatoes and he starts slamming it down. And then he starts talking about the fucking turkey. You know, he's like,
before that, another good scene that gets me every time. Before the dinner scene, where Dwight, David Cross's character, and Hanson meet, and this brief bagging session between the two, that's so fucking hilarious. He goes, right. I'll be the big man and walk away. Walk
away.
You look familiar when you would stop? That's
when so
this shit is so funny to me.
At this dinner scene, he goes and he goes. I like to put everything inside of it, all the testes and the heads and the gizzards.
I don't know what that is. I'll let you anyway.
He picks it up on his bad and he goes, I stuffed the shit out of it.
Stuff
the shit out of it.
He's just like, stuff the shit out of
it. It's like holding on, stuff the shit out of it. Like,
and you know, and most people use turkey bases. I use this.
I use this. He's like licking the turkey.
I'm like, bruh, you need your ass beef for that, bro. Like, It's crazy.
Immediately.
But
And, like, it's everything. Like everything about everything about Hansen is equally gross and disgusting. And he's kind of one note, but it's a note he hits very good.
He's so good at that one note because, and the fact that his name is Hansen, has an incredibly deformed hand, but it's the focal point of a lot of shit. Because even as skip ahead a bit, even as David Cross is about to fall to his death, which he doesn't die, but take my good hand, like don't get away from me, bruh. It is the funniest shit to me. Like I'd rather die to take that nasty ass hand and hold that shit.
And from there, this movie, I got to be honest, this movie kind of falls flat for a while in this movie because they tried to basically introduce the new guy to Anna, who's played by Chris Masterson, and the little of Danny Masterson, and it's so flat with him, it's not even funny. Like I didn't laugh one time anytime he was on scene because it was just so obvious. Like they try to make it seem like she was like, oh, I just want to be friends. So this whole time he's like doing like white guy shit, like open chest, boom. I'm like, that's really not funny.
We don't do that.
No. Even when I was in high school, if they did that shit, you get your ass beat. Like you would.
We're fucking fighting.
We're fucking.
Open chest, kick your ass. Actually,
right. Even the parrot. I mean, the parrot's. I don't know. It's a gag, but it's stupid.
The gag with the parrot was. It was funny for a moment. The parrot shorty interaction is funny to me, but besides that, it's an overused gag. Like I'm good.
Now, what is effective in this movie is the black characters. I'm just going to be upfront and honest. Like the Wayans brothers and Regina Hall really helped drive a lot of the comedy in this. When Shorty gets smoked by the tree, for example, like I don't know what I was expecting, but it was but they were all like, Shorty, we're gonna get you out of there. He's like,
no risk of it. I'm getting out of the motherfucker. Don't take it to the head. Take it to the head. Oh, you take it like a bitch. Yeah, that was a perfectly timed gag that was well executed and didn't stay long. So one of the issues with this movie was you could tell what felt rushed and what was planned.
Right.
And you got a lot of that, like even small shit like once again to skip ahead, when they're running from the ghost and Shorty sees the ghost in the cut and he gets scared, but the very next scene he's fucking the ghost. Right. Like that's just hilarious to me, bro.
And she keeps trying to take like the bag off.
No. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up.
Better.
Don't fuck it up.
But then not only that, even Marlon, you know, Marlon had an early scene where he basically pulled the fucking Silence of the Lamb thing, you know, where there's no prosthetic in this. He straight up he totally tucked his dick and balls like behind his thighs. He's like tucked in or tucked out. They're like tucked in, bro. Like,
that was the first movie? That was the first movie.
Huh?
That was the first movie.
No. Second movie, like
oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. My bad.
And then he has another really great scene, which again, a lot of these characters get solo interactions with the ghost. So they try to make like this creepy clown, right? This creepy clown that comes in and he like pulls him under the bed, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you. Wait a minute, what are you doing?"
Like, Uncle Ray got a game too. Like, wait, what?
Uncle Ray got a game too. And he straight up like the clown's facial expressions is what kills me because he looks like all worried, like turning around. He's all like, oh.
And this long black dick comes out, wraps his
around his neck and pulls him back.
In. Yeah,
and then he rapes a clown, like straight up rapes a clown. It's I don't know. It's weird. It's so fucking weird.
And we're bouncing around. Fucking. Another good gag to me, even though it overstayed its welcome, right? you might not even like this gag, but at one point where they're hearing the weird sounds and they're all walking out, and then they parodied the old early 2000s basketball commercials. So they're like making it do with basketball.
Yeah.
Now, what started off as a funny gag, it just went on for too damn long.
It did.
And for the end, we're like Shorty kind of bouncing the ball on his balls and like that. Shit, it gave me a giggle. It just went on for too long.
It did.
Went on for way too long.
The other, and there's a couple of those in this movie, unfortunately. The other one, one that actually did make me laugh. I'll give this to David Cross as Dwight. Dwight is handicapped, and he's doing everything possible not to be handicapped, but he's definitely handicapped. And so, okay, so hold on. Tim Curry's character tells Dwight basically that no one is to leave the house. This is despite all the attacks that happened that day.
Right.
They want to try to catch the ghosts, right? And so Dwight is given the house keys, and so Theo, who is played by Kathleen Robertson, who isn't actually funny in this movie whatsoever. She plays it super straight.
There's no point for her being here at all. Except
there is 0 point outside of being the hot chick, right? So she plays this hot chick, and she does the whole Lita underwear thing. You know Lita from WWF, where she pull up the thongs up to like
you see the thong strings,
yeah, you see the thong strings. Great look, but it still was like she winds up like offering oral sex to him, and she's like, "Let me help you with that. Let me help you with that. I'll go ahead and help you with this." He was like, "Excuse me, I can do it myself," and he straight up goes. And he pulls his legs. He pulls his legs. Keep in mind, he's disabled. So the legs are just kind of flopping everywhere as he's giving himself head. And
I'm tossing my own salad.
I'm tossing my own salad. And it's not funny. It's really not funny. But it's funny.
Another little small gag I thought it was done. It was timed perfect. It was like Cindy is possessed by we assume the mistress, sees Tim Curry's character. They parody What Lies Beneath.
Right.
And so she goes, I think she suspects something. Like who? Your wife. And it's Ray in the suit. And she goes, right. I don't know. I felt like something was on to me, and I put on this dress, and here I am. What about you, Ray? How about mine on Friday? I could get a banana. She's hot, right? That little tidbit gag is just so funny, bro. It's like it's subtle but hilarious.
There's probably like two more scenes that really made me laugh because we talked about the smoky scene. The first one is they go and they decide to they do scary movie logic, right? All of them are together. And David Cross's character says we should all split up, and Regina Hall is like like every single time everybody splits up, like we all get picked off one by one. No, we should all stick together on this. He was like, all right, yeah, we'll go in teams. You three with me.
You three go with me.
It's all the white people go with him. It's only the black people that's left. That's not what made me laugh. What made me laugh was the reaction.
Bitch.
They start breaking down, crying.
You'll die.
You'll die.
Oh no! It really, and I'm telling you, it's funny as it is, bro. The Regina Hall, Shauna Marlon Wayans, they really do, and Anna Faris, to be completely fair, and David Cross, and Tim Curry. Legit kind of carry the movie. Like all the other side characters, like there's no need for you to be here at all.
The other characters are literally garbage throughout this. Now, the last thing that really made me laugh was Sydney uncovers the monster, and it's this skeleton. The skeleton is chasing her, right?
Right. I was thinking about this exact same thing.
Okay, cool. No, you know what? You say it. I've talked to her.
I mean, it was just pretty simple. Like she's running from a skeleton, and Regina Hall is hiding in the cut by herself because she can't find Shorty or Ray. But she sees Sydney running like damn, hope this bitch don't see me. And then, of course, here comes the skeleton. She goes, please, whatever, just kill her. They got to fuck with me. And she hears Cindy screaming, die, bitch, die, right? And so she turns around like, Brenda, like, Cindy, this is Bones, this is Skeleton. Would you run for Calista Flockhart? I hollered laughing because this is a one of those you had to be there to understand the joke, kind of a joke.
It was Regina said, like Regina said. Cindy says to Regina, Brenda, we're gonna die. It would have just been you, bitch, if you would have shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Also, there's a lot of small references like they reference Goodyear tires, and if you were from that era,
Firestone.
A Goodyear bad press day was a horrible good bad press day.
It was Firestone. It was
Firestone. I'm sorry, Firestone.
Okay, this is one of the problems with this movie. I'm just gonna say out loud. The movie was rushed. I'm not going to put that on the Wayans. I'm going to put that on the studio. Uh-huh. There was way too many pop culture references in this that if you did not know if you were not around during that time, you would not find it funny.
You have no idea what they're talking about.
So for example, the Firestone tire thing was like a recall of these tires that literally led to like the deaths of like 250 people. It was a pretty big story. Like at the time that basically came out. And I remember it getting several weeks of coverage when it did so. So there's a lot of pop culture references in this. There's also very few jokes. It's more like there's like sometimes farting gags, and there's sometimes a fart gag can get me. All right. But this movie did not have them whatsoever. And just like gross shit from Hanson, right? That's pretty much it. The rest of it is like, okay, they did the Charlie's Angels things. They did the I don't want to say it's a Matrix. Where the one movie where he kind of flies over. Oh no, it is a Matrix. The whole Matrix thing. It's just like pop culture references or movie references in a spoof movie. I know that sounds weird, but there's a way to make spoof movies to make fun of other movies without it being so obvious. And some movies do this very well. Scary Movie did it very well. It made fun of Scream so much with that first chase scene that when you saw the breast implant get pulled out of Carmen Electra's tit, you could not stop fucking laughing at that because
even before that, bro, she runs outside the safety death signs, so she runs towards death. I'm just like, what the fuck? This is the most obvious shit ever.
It's just small stuff like that really worked. With this movie, there's good moments in it, but it just as a collective, as a movie, it doesn't move the needle a lot for me. And now looking back, now we kind of have an idea of what we're going to cover next week, luckily. So we'll definitely get into that. But
yeah, so to wrap up this movie, the movie wraps up in your typical scary movie fashion. You have Hanson surviving whatever death we thought he had, and he's a hot dog vendor, which is the most funniest shit to me. So when he turns over and she sees him, and he's holding the dog with the gross ass hand. It's this can't be happening. It is happening, and he survives. And so she goes the dramatic no, and he goes yes, but he gets hit by a shorty who's driving the car, getting the head from the same ghost he fucked like
right.
And you have Scary Movie 2 as genre.
Let's get into some takeaways.
Real quick, we talked about this before we recorded today. Can you honestly say now that the parody genre has died?
Nobody has a good idea on it yet.
The spoof movie has died.
I don't want to say it. It's tough for me to say that's dead because we always see YouTube videos of like spoofs that come out that's just really fucking funny. So if you can figure out a way to do a combination of that and turn it into an action movie, it can work. But as of right now, no, Hollywood has no idea how to make a spoof movie now.
Man, it's a shame because
I would say that, yeah, right now it's currently dead, but it's only a matter of time until you get a good one.
But they took something from the Wayans brothers that could have been a flourishing genre of their own, because it was like they see that scary movie 2 works, scary movie 3 works. Let's run the scary movie shit to the ground, and then let's expand. Meet the Spartans, which is horrible. Superhero movie, which is horrible. Date movie, which is fucking horrible. Like they got worse and worse and worse.
Superhero movie isn't that bad. Superhero movie has 2 really, really great scenes in it. The first one is the parody of Tom Cruise. I can fly. News story afterwards. Tom Cruise finds out he can't fly, dead at 54 or whatever it is. And then there's another scene where they're like, the guy from I can't think of the actor's name. The guy from Happy Gilmore, Shooter McGavin, is all like, these blades are so sharp they can cut through diamonds. And the superhero literally goes, well, it's a good thing I'm not wearing any diamonds.
I remember that scene.
I don't know why. It's such a stupid line. It's like, okay, yeah, no, that totally works. But no, you do have a point though. There's really, really, really bad parodies out there that has really, really that's really hurt this entire idea of movies. And can it come back? Yes, but it definitely needs like more into it. Even the Wayans brothers have lost a little bit of their mojo.
It's crazy. It's crazy to even say, but yeah, it's almost like Marlon is a solo act and he does his own thing.
I didn't care for any of the haunted house movies. It just, there needs to be somebody that's like dedicated to the craft that really loves it, like the Wayans brothers did beforehand. But I don't know, man. It's going to be a long time before we get around that.
Takeaways. Danger. Who's going to get that guy award?
I am actually going to give it to both. I'm going to give it to both Marlon and Shawn Wayans in this, because but not for character-wise, more for they really try to make the best out of something when they were literally given shit to do. You know, if their shooting would have lasted, say, 4 months longer or 6 months longer than this can probably be one of the better spoof movies to ever come out. But the studio decided to put so much pressure on them that they had no choice but to kind of drop what they dropped.
They shot it in like 3 weeks, didn't they?
That's the problem with it. A 3 week shot is horrible. I don't know of many movies that is good that doesn't shoot less than 6 weeks. Usually you have a 6 week shoot, and that's pretty normal, right? For much bigger budget movies, those can last several months. But for these tiniest of movies, like it just, I don't know, it pisses me off, man. It really does. But no, I'll give it to the Wayans brothers for putting in their best effort into this and for trying to get the most out of their actors. Also,
Chick Award.
I'm going to give it to Regina. I'm going to give it to Regina, not because I don't like Anna Faris. Anna Faris is great in this movie. She drives the plot, obviously. There's not much plot to drive, but she does drive it because Regina is great. And the black characters in this movie really stand out to me more than the white characters. And I'm not trying to turn this into like a racial side or whatnot, but literally I was laughing much harder anytime the black characters were on screen more than the white characters.
That full of work.
You give it to the studio. Make it easy. I can't put blame on the actors. All they're doing is their job. Right. I hate to say that because it's so easy for me to go and point and look at somebody like Masterson, for example, like, what are you doing in this movie? You're not funny. And then just kind of go from there. But they're literally just doing the project to collect their check because the studio rushed this. The studio absolutely rushed this, and it really hurt these actors' careers. It took a long time for some of these actors to really recover. And Anna Faris probably should have been bigger than what she wound up becoming because of it. Like, she didn't get her first real movie that wasn't a spoof until 2008 with the House Bunny, right? Which was all right, but that's what I mean. Like, they hurt her career before he even had a chance to really take off.
Shit, cut that out.
There is at least a cut that out. I'd probably cut out the parrot. To be honest, like at least shorten a lot of its scenes. I could have dealt with the opening scene with Sean, but other than that, just cut out the rest of the story. Or actually, you know what? We never even talked about this character. Cut out Donna Summers. There is no point. Oh my God, what's the character? What's the actor's name? Oh my God. Tori Spelling. Donna Summers.
Yeah, she can go. She can definitely go.
She was awful. She there was nothing funny about her, and she wasn't really sexy in it either.
It was awkward. That's all she was.
It was awkward. Yeah. I don't know.
Does it hold up?
No. If I never see this movie again, I'd be okay with it.
All right, and iconic scene.
The stuff the shit out of it scene.
Stuff the shit out of it.
Like that legitimately got a gross laugh out of
Right. Bruh, I can watch that scene now and just crack the fuck up. It's so funny.
Elliot delivered the line perfectly. Stuff the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Continue that guy award.
That guy award actually goes. I got a double that guy award. It goes to both Tim Curry's Professor, and the reason why is because he kept it a buck the whole time. He was there to see some ass and scam these kids and thinking something could be going on.
Yep, he sure was.
You know what I'm saying? That was his sole purpose. And when shit went south, he died. You know what I'm saying? So I love that.
I want to be fair real quick. I know a lot of people are going to be like, isn't this like a problem with professor-student relationship? This is college. That shit don't matter when it happens in college.
That high school shit, you're wrong. This is everybody's growing up here. So nah. Yeah. So and I tie that with Hanson. Hanson is my bad guy award because the reason why, because even to this day, I didn't watch the whole movie to get ready for the show, and when I popped it on so I can kind of get refreshed with it, I immediately went to that scene, and that dinner scene is by far the funniest scene in the movie solely because of what Chris Elliott can do with that little ass hand, and even before that, because the bag session between him and David Cross is classic to me, bro. Because like every time Cross had a joke for him, Hanson came right back. Oh, where they go, Andy, man? Like, oh, you look familiar. Were you in Stomp, bruh?
Were you in Stomp?
I see what you're doing here. You look familiar. Were you in Stomp? And he's in a wheelchair, bruh. I am in tears, laughing so hard. It is the funniest shit to me. So, yeah, that guy will be a tie between both Tim Curry's Professor and Chris Elliott's Hanson. Because they provided with the most realness and the most laughs.
That chick award.
That chick award, Regina Hall. She carries the movie for the chicks. Like, and a lot of her quick timing, her beats are on, and her improv is through the roof. Like when she's hiding from Cindy because Cindy getting chased by the Calista Flockhart bones, it is the funniest shit to me. It's like, die, bitch, die. I thought she was talking for all black girls in the audience when she said that line. I love it. Or what we mentioned before was how could some skirt shit go down? You white people always say let's split up. And it's just, you're right. You three come with me. That's just so funny to me, man. It's hilarious.
We gonna die.
That's a bitch.
That full award.
That full award. I'm gonna go with you, man. The Weinstein brothers, Dimension Films, Miramax as a whole are just fucking idiots. When you really like, in hindsight, everything was about let's do, go. In hindsight, had you let them finish the movie that they wanted to make, they knew they were going to give you a sequel, but let them do it their way. If you want another scary movie that's critically loved and made the money, let them fucking work. Don't rush the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly they thought that the parody genre would die out before. They were obviously wrong because they kept putting the bullshit for like 3-4 years, you know? So, oh man, in my opinion, yeah, the Wayans brothers, Dimension Films, Miramax, that whole squad, it fools me.
I always get a little weirded out whenever I think of like what can constitute as a spoof movie, because we obviously think of scary movie, the disaster superhero movies, whatever. But movies like Tropic Thunder is also a spoof movie. Shaun of the Dead is also a spoof movie. So like to answer your question from earlier, movies like that can work, but in the traditional sense where it's like you're just making fun of other movies just to make fun of them without anything else added to it. Sausage Party is a spoof movie, all right? And Sausage Party is really funny. It's animated. Bro, you cannot tell me that when they finally get to like the girl's like house and it turns into a horror movie that you're not laughing your ass off because you're
what the fuck?
What the fuck? Like, it's a straight up. She's eating the children. Like, I could not stop laughing because it's kind of true. Anyways, cut that out.
Cut that out. I'd cut out. Cut that out. I'd cut out everything involving Bobby. Bobby is just not. I'm sorry. No, is it Bobby? No, it's
Chris Masterson's character.
Yeah. Matter of fact, scratch that. I cut out everything involving him and Theo and Tori Spelling's character. They're literally not needed whatsoever. I'll even keep the bird, but them three gotta go.
Fair enough. Does it hold up?
No. Okay. It doesn't. I mean, it holds up to a point to where I know I can go to certain scenes and still get a legit laugh out of it. But as far as popping it on and watching it through this movie's only like an hour and like 19 minutes. So it's like, it's not long at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can sit through it, but I just don't want to. Because like, I know there are certain scenes that I laughed at back then, I don't laugh at now. There are scenes that I was in love with then, I'm still in love with now. So I'd rather go to the ones I really do enjoy as opposed to sitting through it and trying to get a laugh out of something I know that won't give me a laugh. Now, 5 years from now, maybe even 10 years from now, when the movie turns 30 years old, no.
It's kind of like the movie The Pest, which wasn't good even when it came out. But
you were younger. But when I was younger, I fucking loved The Pest.
Sure. Now you watch it and it's like, this is incredibly offensive.
This is so stupid. This is so.
But there's still scenes, like you'd probably still watch the opening song, the opening song. That's
I used to have it memorized. I like to party with my peeps. Yeah.
You know what? I'm good. I'm good on that. Iconic.
All right. I know it. It's all right. Where we at?
Iconic scene.
Iconic scene. The dinner scene with Hanson. Stuff the shit out of it. Yeah. I love that scene. That's such a funny scene to me. Yeah.
All right. Let's do you do 3 and I do 3 of trivia.
All right. So going to some quick hits here. All right. The Wayans brothers have said that this sequel was not as strong of a movie because Dimension Films wanted it released within a year after Scary Movie 1's release. They felt it was too rushed, which it was.
It absolutely was. At around 14 minutes, the map Cindy Campbell reads on the car has the following text on the bottom. Directions. If you had any brains, you would take your ass home. But since you don't, head north 2 miles on Hades Divide. You will pass Elm Street on your left. Whatever you do, keep moving. 6 miles to Kane Manor. If you reach Compton, lock the door, bend over, and kiss your ass.
Kiss your ass goodbye. Yo, also, another quick tidbit. The scene when she's driving to Hell House and she's playing the Vitamin C record Graduation, she's like grooving out, whatever. Oh. I love how like she's singing, going crazy in the song. It comes like, hey, will you shut the fuck up and let me sing? dun, 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 la 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 la. Bro, I laughed so hard that scene. That shit was so funny to me. All right. When editing this movie, they forgot they had removed the "Did you hear something?" ending from Scary Movie, which was a callback to the beginning and mistakenly left in this
one. Marlon Brando was paid $1 million to play Father McFeely in The Exorcist spoof at the beginning of this movie. He took the money and accepted the role, but got pneumonia a few days before shooting his scenes. He dropped out of the project and was still allowed to keep the money and was replaced by James Woods. I have a problem with this. Okay. Marlon Brando is one of the biggest trolls of Hollywood. I'm dead serious. Like the way that this guy acted for such a long time as a dickhead, you know, and I love his movie. On the Waterfront is a fucking phenomenal movie, but he is a troll like nobody's business. And after a while, Hollywood should have stopped calling. Hollywood really should have stopped calling.
They kept calling.
Yep, go
ahead. Many people bought tickets for this movie during the U.S. theatrical run simply to see the trailer for Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. After the trailer ran, many moviegoers left the theater. At
this point, I think we have to do that movie. Like, I'm pretty okay with covering that movie.
I am too. That's this year.
Yeah, it's coming up. I think it's August.
You listen. I've bought tickets to a movie just to see a trailer and didn't stay for the movie. Matter of fact, I was ignorant enough to get my money back after I saw the trailer, and it was when Beowulf came out, and I knew that Beowulf had the trailer to Cloverfield, and I was gung ho about seeing Cloverfield, so I bought tickets to Beowulf so I could see the trailer. And this back before like YouTube was like really putting shit out like
that. Cloverfield was a good movie. I like Cloverfield.
It was great.
And let's see. All right, final one for me. At around 4 minutes, James Woods improvised the line, "Fuck this," when Father McFeely first sees a possessed girl. And that's Scary Movie 2, guys. pretty easy here.
So you know what you need to do? Sometime this weekend, you know, get a turkey, get your folks together, stuff the shit out of it.
Stuff the shit out of it.
Ned Jeanette, where can they find you, man?
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I think Snapchat. David Danger Neff or Danger Neff. It's one of those two. I'm the co-host here at Back to the Classics. Super Throwback September. It's right around the corner. It'll be here before you know it. So if you have any suggestions for movies that you want us to cover, please let us know. We are really going to try to ramp up our promotional stuff because we are not doing enough in terms of promoting our own shows. I know I'm not doing enough in terms of promoting our own shows. So I feel like I need to step up the game there a little bit. Yeah. My guy, Jay Alonso, where can they find you?
Oh, man. Stuffing the shit out of it. No. I'm on Facebook at Jay Alonso. I'm at IG at official Jay Alonso. I'm on Twitter at I am Jay Alonso. Of course, you can follow us here at BTTC Podcast on IG. And, of course, Back to the Classics Movie Talk group on Facebook is up and popping. Go and jump in there and join the conversation. We've had some great combos in the group the last couple of days, especially because of my F9 post. So thank y'all for jumping in there and joining in with the bashing with me. And we're still going strong. And we'll be back next week with another one. Now that I know what we're doing next week, I can't wait for next week. And we'll give a lot more praise for the next week's movie when it comes out. So with that being said, actually, you know what? One second. Is there a guest on? I don't think so.
Next week?
Wait. No, there's no guest on. You're right. So we're good to go. But we will have more guests on. Once again, huge shout out to Cine Square for last week's show. Great job, bro. And yeah, man, me and Dave will be back this week with a whole nother one for y'all. All right? This is Back to the Classics. I'm Jay Alonso. With me, of course, is
Danger Neff. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th of July, everybody. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy Bobby Brown versus Keith Sweat versus I'll be watching. And if you see me at the Dave Chappelle show, Come on over and say what's up. All right, y'all be cool.
Peace.